Hello YouTube, welcome to Motorcycling with Carl. Out for a little chilly ride this morning. I think it's October 24th. Little chilly this morning. Decided to take my Seika 2 out for a little run. Hasn't been out in over a month. Was a little hard starting this morning. I think the carbs were empty. So I just stopped to top it off with gas because I don't like leaving it sitting over the winter with anything less than a full tank. And I just paid for 93 octane here in Connecticut. I just paid $4.49 a gallon. That is absolutely crazy. I can't believe this. So let me know what you guys are paying around the country and around the world. This is terrible. Alright, the reason for this video is I do want to talk about a couple purchases that I made probably last winter. Well, one of them was even further back. But I want to discuss the two of them. I have videos. I'll leave links in the description to the two videos about them. But the things I want to talk about are my battery tender and the battery that I put in my Iron 1200. I'm going to start off with the battery. Guys, I'm telling you, the battery that came with my Harley from the factory was absolute garbage. Alright, I would go out there even in the summer, even after you go out to start the bike, it would barely turn over. The gauges would all reset back because of the heavy draw from the from the bike on that cheap battery. And I'll tell you what, I put in an anti-gravity lithium ion restart battery in my Harley, and I'm gonna tell you what, I don't even worry about it anymore. I'm so confident in that battery. When I moved, it sat for 3 weeks. I think it was almost 3 weeks I didn't ride. I went out there and I just touched that button and that thing fired like you wouldn't believe. Like it hadn't been sitting for more than 5 minutes after riding it. That battery is worth every penny I paid for it. And if you guys, because I get a lot of questions about the batteries and the battery tender because I did those videos and they're doing well. And a lot of people still ask a lot of questions, so I wanted to do this video to tell you guys, you know what, if you're gonna buy a battery, try and save a couple of bucks. It's definitely a good investment. And like I said, the restart battery, if you happen to leave something on and it drains the battery down, there's a circuit in there that'll cut it off once it gets to a certain level. And there's a button on the battery to restart the battery, and it'll leave you enough to get your bike started. So check out my video on the battery, and it'd be the best thing you ever do. Anybody, especially, I could speak for the Iron 1200s. I know there's people out there and you know what I'm talking about. You push that button, the gauges reset, it could barely turn the bike over. Do yourselves a favor and get a good battery. And the second thing that I get asked a lot of questions about still is my battery tender. I bought the Harley Davidson battery tender. It's a great little, I'll call it charger, but it's a battery tender. I mean, both of my bikes have the connectors on them. And I have so much confidence in that lithium ion battery that 90% of the time I leave the charger on this bike because this has the regular lead acid battery. But like today I went out there, luckily I had this on the tender. The carbs must have emptied out and it was really hard starting. Took a little bit of time, a lot of cranking. But with the battery on the tender, it had all the juice it needed. Man, this little bike is fun. I usually ride my Harley a lot more, but I do go out on this thing to tool around a little, have a good time. So, well, the other thing I'll tell you about is still living in the apartment, no success finding anything yet. We're just riding this market out. Really hoping that things go down a little bit. So we'll see. I need a garage though. I find myself riding my bikes a little bit less right now because I have them stored at a family member's house, and I want to give them a shout out and say, you know, thank you so much for taking my 2 prized possessions in and giving me a place to store them and access to be able to ride them. Really nice of you. Thank you. So luckily I have that, but like I said, I've spent a lot less time on my bikes. Hopefully if I get into a new place, I'll have plenty of time to do a lot of videos and a lot of riding. I want to set up a really nice facility to work on bikes. Woo! Alright, so sorry I didn't have a video last week, guys, but I'm working on some stuff. I really appreciate the support that my channel has gotten, and I can't believe the amount of subscribers. I think right now I think I'm at like 2,200 or thereabouts. I can't believe it, and thank you very much. And all those people, everybody that subscribed, you will not be disappointed once I get in my new place. Gonna have some great content. All right, till next time, this is Carl saying laugh a lot, be nice, and stay safe.